It's 5 p.m. Your toddler just spilled juice on the floor that you just mopped. Your two oldest are fighting over a toy. The baby needs to nurse, and you're finding yourself yelling and going, oh my gosh, I swear I wasn't going to do this today, and here I am. Why do we react this way when we desperately want to be calm and patient moms? I'm Debbie Page, and today I'm revealing the hidden forces that are keeping you trapped and stuck in chaos and overwhelm. And I'm going to help you find these ways to create a peaceful, harmonious home. It's the one you're longing for. Yes, these invisible forces. Over our last 4 episodes, we've talked about your emotional home, achievement versus fulfillment, breaking emotional autopilot, and switching from task mode to connection mode. And today we're going to go deeper to understand why changing these patterns can be so challenging. And it's because there are invisible forces that are at work beneath the surface of your conscious awareness. And these invisible forces, they're deeply ingrained patterns that were formed long before you became a mother. And they're like these hidden scripts that are just automatically running in the background of your mind, influencing how you interpret situations, how you respond emotionally, and how you make decisions, how you interact with your children and your husband. And the problem is that as long as these forces remain invisible, they control you. But once you can see them, then you can begin to change them. So here's a little story about me. I remember discovering one of my own invisible forces years ago. Whenever my children would argue with each other, I would become intensely anxious and rush to solve their problem immediately. Couldn't understand why their normal sibling disagreements triggered me and triggered such a strong reaction in me. It wasn't until I went through counseling and had many deep conversations with a very wise older friend who was like a mother to me that I finally understood that this reaction stemmed from my own childhood, where conflict in our home often escalated into something that was frightening. And my brain had created this invisible script that it equaled danger, and I needed to do something immediately. But once I could see this pattern through these guided conversations, I was able to really see my children's disagreements with more wisdom instead of automatic anxiety. And I could discern which situations needed intervention and which ones were opportunities for them to develop conflict resolution skills. And the 3 most invisible forces that we face, well, while each mother has her own unique invisible forces, there are 3 that I've found to be nearly universal. And one is the not enough force. And this is the unconscious belief that you're just fundamentally not enough, not patient enough, not loving enough, not organized enough, blah, blah, blah. And all of that drives perfectionism and constant striving. And it whispers, if you were a good mom, if you would. And then the second one is the responsible for everyone's feelings force. This is the belief that you're responsible for everyone's emotional state. And it creates anxiety when family members are upset and drives you to try to fix or manage others' emotions instead of allowing them to process their own feelings. And number 3, the history repeating force. And this is where patterns from your childhood automatically replay in your parenting. You might hear you speaking things or saying things that your mother said, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm just like my mother. I mean, how many of us have said that? When you start to recognize your own invisible forces, it's freedom. And that first step to freedom is recognition. And here are ways to identify those invisible forces that are at work in your life. Notice when you have an emotional reaction that feels disproportionate to the situation, like when you completely lose it over spilled milk or toys on the floor. Ask yourself, what deeper belief might be driving this response? Is it, I can't handle one more thing, or no one appreciates what I do? Consider where this belief might have originated, your own childhood, things people have said to you, or the impossible standards you see on social media. Write down what you discover, bringing the invisible into the visible. And sometimes we're too close to our own patterns to really clearly see them. And this is where talking with a trusted friend, mentor, or counselor can be invaluable. Often they can help us see blind spots we've missed for years. Scripture reminds us, that we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world. And while this verse has many layers of meaning, one application is that our daily struggles often aren't with the surface circumstances, but with unseen forces, including those invisible patterns that are within us. And God invites us to bring these hidden places, these hidden patterns into light places. Let us see what's going on with us. Ask God to help us see what's going on with us. So today, moms, your surprise by joy moment is when you feel yourself about to explode at your children. Pause for just 3 seconds and ask, what invisible force is driving this? That tiny awareness can break open the door to a calm, confident mother that you're meant to be. And next week, we're going to explore awakening your emotional truth and learning to distinguish between the voices of guilt and shame and your authentic intuition as a mother. Remember to check out my daily Mama Moment videos for quick reminders to help you transform chaos into harmony, one moment at a time. This is Debbie Page reminding you that you weren't meant to live in overwhelm. Your emotional home can become a place of peace, and from there, your physical home will follow. Beautiful mamas, I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day.